Good evening and many thanks for joining us on the news from IATV Lagos studio. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Nigeria's Red Chamber has backed the decision of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit to stop the abuse of funds of local governments by state governors. Some concerned Nigerians in Lagos share the views with IATV Lagos on moves by the Senate to ensure local government's financial autonomy across the country. Faith Agbetuye has the details.
Following the adoption of a motion moved by Senator Sabi Abdullahi that the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit should kickstart steps to frustrate the use of local government funds by governors, the Nigerian Senate passed the motion to stop the use of funds through joint state and local government accounts. To some Nigerians who spoke with IATV in Lagos, the local government financial autonomy is a long overdue reform that the Senate should ensure strict implementation.
You know, it's actually a welcome development. It's long overdue, because the people at the grassroots, they are really suffering. So if, the money can be given directly to the local government chairman to take care of their constituency, it will go a long way for development to come to the state, at the grassroots level.
This bill has been before the Senate for a very long time. Like I said, we give kudos to them. They should have passed it long ago. Financial autonomy, like I said, it will give the local government empowerment. It will allow the local government to reach out to the people in their domain. They don't need to go to any state government and be begging for money. In fact, the state government should pump in more money into local government rather than taking away from it.
They also joined their voices with that of the Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, to stress the need for state houses of assembly to ensure that the pending constitutional amendment, which would give legal backings to local government autonomy in Nigeria, was passed.
Local government should stand on its own. In the constitution, it's like that. You have the federal, the state, and the local government. They are supposed to be on their own. The way it is now, it's like they don't even have power to do anything. But once this is sorted out, once at the state level, they give them the power to work, you see that there is going to be a whole total difference in governance at the state and at the local level.
The local government is the closest government to the people. But as it is in Nigeria today, it's the fastest government to the people. If you have a government that is so far away from people, it's the local government. In fact, federal government is even closer to the people than local government in Nigeria. So when we have a local government autonomy, we will not have a situation whereby, particularly state government, will be stealing, I call it stealing, the funds from the local government.
The respondents, however, stressed the need to tighten up checks and balances to avoid having corruption eat up funds meant for local government development. Faith Agbetuya, IATV News, Lagos.
Do you know what halitosis is? Halitosis, also known as bad breath, is a condition in which a person emits an offensive odor from his or her mouth. IATV News went into the streets of Lagos to find out what residents know about the causative factors of halitosis.
There are lots of things that could cause mouth odor. Maybe not brushing and maybe using wrong toothpaste, the ones that are not good for your teeth, and the ones that are not good for your gums, and then also tooth hole. I used to have tooth hole, and then when I had to cover it, so stuff like that because
I believe one of the ways people have bad breath, maybe when they don't brush their tongue, and then the kind of foods they eat, like people that eat a lot of garlic, garlic stays long, so they usually have the residual flavor, and at the end of the day, at the end of the week, it leads to bad breath.
Some people are having inborn mouth odor because when they are born, there are certain procedures they normally take when the child is being delivered, in which some parents are so careless. Some people doesn't take care of the baby very properly. Medically, they don't take care of the baby.
Dr. Uzoma Opara, a dentist, gave expert advice to persons experiencing bad breath. The medical officer further explained how halitosis or bad breath can be cured or managed.
You brush your teeth twice daily. Now people ask, twice daily, why can't I brush more than twice? But the thing is, you have to just brush twice daily. You brush your teeth twice daily, and you see your dentist twice in a year. Now, another thing we have to discuss is about the technique itself in toothbrushing. What kind of toothbrush should I use when brushing? Now, for children, there are different types of toothbrush. For adults, there are different types of toothbrush. Then the texture of the toothbrush. Ideally, you should spend like 2 minutes while brushing. A lot of us were just in a hurry, to brush. Maybe you're late for work or something, and before you know it, you go into the bathroom, before you know, you're out. No, toothbrushing should take at least 2 minutes.
Dr. Okpara emphasized that those affected should seek medical help instead of condemning themselves. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC Lagos office has arrested 2 musicians, Afiz Fashola with stage name Naira Marley and Omoni Temidayo, also known as Zlatan, in connection with alleged case of internet fraud and money laundering. According to an intelligence report, they have also been linked to cybercrime offences. They were arrested along with Tiamiyu Abdurrahman, Kayode Adewumi Adeyonju Moses and Abubakar Musa in an early morning raid today at number 9 Bangola Street, Ikate, Lekki, Lagos. We hear they have so far volunteered useful information about their involvement in the alleged criminal activities while investigation is continuing. The development of grassroots sport has been identified as a means to expose youth to sporting skills and keep them away from unwholesome activities. Olympics athletics gold medalist Kafilat Ogunkola said this during a chat with IATV News in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. She explained that improper administration and lack of adequate funding has affected Nigeria's sports development efforts, describing grassroots sports as a veritable vehicle for the realization of national sports development objective. Ogunkoya.
If you engage youth with sport and education, you have to manage the two. And I would really appreciate it if we can make sure that the sports aspect and the education aspect are mashed together like they used to do during my own days.
Ogunkoya added that organizations, companies, philanthropists and government should establish sports clues at junior and senior levels with long-term vision of continuity in sporting teams.
The government, the individual, the private sectors, because during my own days, we have a lot of individuals. We have MKO, we have Adesoya and Shagam, we call him Olororo, they all comes to help. They bring something that let's do this competition, and if we go back to that, I think that we are going to be okay.
The sports veteran stressed that sports development from primary schools to higher institutions had to be taken seriously in order to discover and groom talents. Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, has identified youth empowerment as a key factor in curbing socio-political and economic challenges facing the country. Oba Ogunwusi made this assertion during the 2019 Oni Ogunwusi Youth and Women Empowerment Summit in Ile-Ife, Osun State. The monarch who observed that the rate of crime had reduced greatly in Ile-Ife and its environs as a result of the yearly empowerment for the youth wanted more efforts to be made in youth engagement.
We've trained thousands of youths and we have empowered thousands of youth, and as a result we are feeling the effect right here in Ife. Crime rate has dropped tremendously, and if you don't like work that has to do with your hand, we will encourage you to go back to farming. We have different initiatives and programs for quite a lot of things just for youth emancipation. So this is the 4th anniversary of celebrating it, and we hope to do more, and we have a lot of initiatives to still implement.
According to the Oni of Ife, the empowerment is aimed at reawakening the economic consciousness of Nigerian youth towards employment creation and requisition of entrepreneurial skills. Speakers at the summit maintained that youth empowerment required deliberate effort by individuals and government, just as Nigerians were encouraged to promote buying, selling and usage of locally made products. Issues addressed at the summit included growing youth unemployment, social implications of unemployment among the youths and their attendant effects on the nation.
The rate of unemployment in a country measures the state of the health of that economy. Unemployment is a serious impediment to social progress. Apart from representing a colossal waste of a country's manpower resources, it generates welfare loss in terms of lower output, thereby leading to low income and well-being.
That has happened within a space of about 3 years that the Kabiyesi ascended the throne. Then I imagine if the university has taken steps since about 52 years of its existence of coming to Ife. And I'm challenging the university today that they can do something. Though Kabiyesi is taking the lead and is doing his own, and I know it's going to be a success at the end of the day.
The summit featured exhibitions of locally made wares and products, showcasing the creative skills acquired by beneficiaries. There is a reported case of high rates of malnutrition among children in Kwara State. A coalition of civil society organizations with bias for nutrition is raising the red flag over the high rates of malnutrition. Presenting the state policy brief on nutrition at a sensitization program in Ilorin, the coalition said that Kwara State had become home to a large population of malnourished children and pregnant women.
And WHO recommendation is 50%. So we see we are short of 50. Kwara State is reading 28%. Only 10.9% are breastfed within 1 hour of birth.
We are having a change of government, and whenever the new government comes in, because this other one is almost gone, it will be one of our priorities. In fact, already it has been written in our handing over note.
Statistics from the National Nutrition Health Survey indicates that Kwara State has under-5 mortality rate of 45 deaths per 1,000 live births and an infant mortality rate of 40 per 1,000 live births. It also shows that 32.5% of children under 5 are stunted, 7.0% are wasted, 19.9% are underweight, and only 35.7% of children less than 6 months are exclusively breastfed in the state. At a meeting, representatives of civil society organizations on nutrition were not too impressed about the performance of Kwara State on nutrition.
You know that we have had problem with our nutrition because when you go to other countries, especially developed countries, you will realize that they don't take the matter of nutrition with levity. And that is why you will even see government feeding students at least a meal in their schools, because the parents cannot do it all. The government must support.
Our key ask as CSON is for the government of Kwara State to increase funding for nutrition in the 2020 state budget. We are too late for 2019, so we are speaking ahead, 2020.
Government officials also see the need to scale up budgetary provision for the improvement of children's nutrition in the state. And in business, activities in Nigeria's power sector may be deepening as the World Bank has made $224.7 million available to enhance the financial capacity of operators. Board of the World Bank Group reportedly approved the fund for the regional off-grid electrification project in West Africa and the Sahel region. Coordinating Director for Regional Integration in West Africa, Rashid Ben Samaud, stated that $150 million would come in the form of credit and grants from the International Development Association, IDA, and $74.7 million as contingent recovery grants from the Clean Technology Fund. He added that the fund would assist the West African Development Bank and ECOWAS Center for Renewable Energy to expand off-grid electricity for countries, including Nigeria, Benin, Burkina Faso, and Togo, among others. Over now to the stock market report, Friday, May 10th, 2019. On the instructions of investors, stockbrokers traded in a total of 235.2 million ordinary shares valued at 1.3 billion naira. When the closing bell rang, Sovereignians PLC led the activity chart with 44.5 million ordinary shares valued at 11.1 million naira. Sterling Bank came second on our activity chart with 24.7 million ordinary shares valued at 64.8 million naira. Stanbic Nigeria PLC topped the gainers chart with 2 naira 3 kobo to close trading at 46 naira. Guinness PLC came second with a 1 naira 50 kobo gain to close at 51 naira 5 kobo. However, Seplat led the pack of losers with a drop of 57 naira 5 kobo to close trading at 507 naira 9 kobo. AfriFraud PLC dropped at 0 naira 39 kobo to close dealings at 3 naira 53 kobo. All share index closed today's trading at 28,847.81 points, all in a total of 3,130 transactions, while market capitalization came to a close at 10.84 trillion naira. That's the size of a news bulletin from the Lagos studio. Let's head back to Ibadan for the rest of the news. I'm Folashade Ogrinde. Good evening.